watch other people enjoying themselves even if I'm not. We're not actually serving food in that area, she replies, as she carefully lays the enormous menus on a table in a dark corner with no view of anything. But I would like to sit there, I say defiantly, looking round to see if there's any vague chance Mark will step in and back me up. Mark, Ellie and George have not even registered that I've moved, all engrossed in their phones or, in George's case, his own mortification. The waitress looks at me and puts her hands on her hips. Yes, her hips. We are only serving food in this section, she says. I stare back at her. Part of me wants to give up now, go home and write the night off as a bad idea. But it's my birthday. I want to at least attempt an enjoyable meal with my family before things may never be the same again. Before I break the news to Mark on the 20th anniversary of us getting together that, there might be something wrong with me. Catastrophically wrong with me. I want a table where I can see the cactus fairy lights, I tell her, with what I hope is an air of authority. Yeah, she shrugs. I realise I am in a standoff in the back of a Mexican restaurant. You let us have a table at the front, or we'll leave, I demand. My voice wobbles slightly, which may have given her the upper hand. I hold my breath. She looks at me and sighs. Yes, sighs. I'll have to go and ask the manager if we can open up another section, she says, strutting off and leaving me standing on my own. I quickly gather up the enormous menus and begin a fast walk back up to the front of the restaurant. I'm thinking that if we're seated before the waitress gets back, she won't be able to do anything about it. What is Mum doing? I hear Ellie ask for the second time that night. In my haste to win the race, I have not spotted that the other 3 members of my family have finally deigned to join me and are walking in the opposite direction down the next aisle. We're sitting at the front, I say, barely slowing up. Quick, this way, I shout over my shoulder. But someone might see us if we sit there, I hear Ellie cry. By the time Mark, Ellie and George join me, I've bagged, in my opinion, the best seat in the house. Back to the wall, right at the front, facing the bar, I can see everything going on. That is until we all pick up our menus, blocking all of the view and a big chunk of light. Why on earth did you want to come here? Grumbles Mark from somewhere behind 2 layers of laminated card. We could have gone to Sebastian's. I said I'd treat you all. You don't even have to book to come here. I can't remember the last time I went to a restaurant where you could just turn up. Can you imagine if you did that at Sebastian's? I remember the last time I'd agreed to go to Sebastian's with Mark. It was his firm's Christmas do. The lack of food, overblown and insipid, and terrible company, men, overblown, women, insipid, had led to an overindulgence in champagne on my part. When I loudly whispered into Mark's ear that the only way the night could be salvaged was by a visit to a karaoke bar, he had given me a horrified glare, followed by a large glass of water. Do not drink any more champagne, he'd angrily whispered. This is not the time, nor the place, to get drunk. But it's a Christmas party, I thought. If there's any time and place to get completely pissed, surely it's now. I watched as Mark leaned forward over his vanilla and basil posset with a hint of lavender foam to ask the chairman's wife about her plans for the holiday season. I leant back, sulked, and never said another word. No one noticed. The atmosphere between us was somewhat frosty for several days afterwards, until he announced we were at the point in our marriage